Hello, world, and welcome to another episode of Unfiltered with us. On today's episode, we'll be talking about the price of authenticity, what it means, and how to navigate this space.
Being authentic or being like that, most times you really can't get both of it.
Yeah, that's true. And also, we'll be talking about how to also find comfort in spaces where you're not comfortable, how to thrive and always be yourself. Wherever it is you find yourself. To be authentic, you're not always going to be loved. You're not always going to be liked. But the truth is, your crowd and the people who love you will always find you.
Okay, so that and what we're going to be discussing in the main video. So at this point, like we always say, let's get unfiltered.
Hi guys, and welcome back to the episode.
I don't know why I'm doing that.
Yeah. So today we'll be talking about being authentic in the current state of the world. We'll find out.
I feel like that's an important aspect to being authentic in the current state of the world.
Yeah.
I feel like we were having this conversation like maybe 20
90s.
years back or in the 90s. It would be something else entirely.
Oh,
but
yes.
in this present day, it's a big one.
Yeah, it's a big one, and it's rare right now. Also, I believe authenticity comes with a lot of things. People be, I've come across a couple of people that believe being authentic.
Yeah.
You don't have to necessarily change who you are. You need to continuously be who you are. And for me, I believe being authentic doesn't stop you or negate you from growing. You need to keep growing because
you know what, guys? I'm just going to have to pause him right there because this is something that we were having this interesting conversation and we just jumped right into it. But before we go, how are you guys doing? Welcome back to the channel. We didn't even say hi.
Yeah, we didn't even say hi. Yeah,
because that's just how interesting this episode is going to be. If you've watched our past episodes, thank you for coming back to watch. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and send this to somebody else. Let people, this is a conversation.
I can feel your energy.
Yes, it's very interesting because it affects every aspect of your being as you evolve and as you grow.
Oh yes, it does. So for me, as I was saying, so being authentic doesn't stop you from growing. You have to continuously grow and evolve. And the truth is, if you want to become who you truly are, not everyone is going to love you. Not everyone is going to like you. And some people, as you evolve and grow, they begin to understand who you truly are, and then they fall in line, they fall in place, and that love comes.
You know what? You just saying this, it takes me back to when we first started dating. Can you remember?
Oh yes, I can.
So we had different crowds.
Yes, we did.
We had different crowds of like friends, and I remember like when you come to my side, we're more on the louder side, and you were more on the quiet side, and I'm like, no, you need to be loud, you need to be this. And I remember you telling me like maybe like you tried, kudos to you, you really tried. And then I think maybe like maybe 6 months down the line, and you told me that like that's just not me. Like I'm a force on my own, being quiet, and that I recognize. I'm a force on my own, being quiet. Not like you are quiet, but you have that quiet strength, and you're like, I can't really, try and be loud, or like that's just not me. It doesn't sit well with me, and let's realize that. I respected you at that time. I think this is somebody that knows who he is. He's not trying to blend into the crowd. I'm sorry I tried to make you blend into the crowd.
Oh no, I mean,
but I just mean that not
like they say, sometimes you need to compromise and try and fit into the things your partner loves. So that was me compromising.
But the funny thing,
let me see what it feels like. But it didn't work for me.
Yeah, and the funny thing, either ways, everybody accepts you how you are.
Oh, yes.
Or maybe in a way, they're trying to be like, oh, you need to be a little bit this. But the funny thing is, that's your strength. That's what people love about you, like that quiet strength. And it takes a while for people to be able to understand that. And I think that's where because it comes from like, oh, maybe if I'm not like that, would they like me? Or if I'm not like this, would they like me? And that's something even I remember we're having this conversation where I'm like, I'm just going to be myself. People should either like me for me or not like me for me. In the past before, I won't be like, oh, if this person is not, very outspoken, I'll try to be quiet next to the person so the person feels comfortable.
Oh yes.
If the person is very outspoken, which I like to like, oh yes, yes, yes. But at this point, it gets to the point where you need to understand your own authenticity to thrive.
Yeah. So that's understanding your energy
Mhm.
and your weight, where you put your weight in certain rooms. Yes, and I understand where you're coming from as well because there's some rooms that require you to talk a bit more. Some
Mhm.
other rooms require you to just be a bit chill.
Yeah.
But the truth is, whatever room you step into,
Mhm.
you need to not always be the loudest in the room, but you need to be the one that adds the most value in the room. Or even if you don't add the most
Very
value,
important.
yeah, even if you don't add the most value, at least be there or be in the middle. So your energy is always going to show.
Mhm.
However you slice it, your
Mhm.
energy will always show.
You
But
will.
you have to always be yourself. Don't allow people cross boundaries with you. Don't don't be rude or insulting when you step into rooms. So basically, just be yourself and try and always feed in positive energy whenever you're in rooms. Because that's
Okay.
how people.
All right. So now
continue to remember you.
let's come back to now. Let's just make this a little bit in the present now. We
Okay.
understand. We all understand that. We understand that. Okay, you need to be authentic in your own self, in your own being, like be
Yeah.
yourself, which is really important. But in today's world, how does that work? I feel like there's also a fine line between authentic and image crafting this particular way. Like let's use celebrities for example. There's a image they want to portray. Does
Okay.
it really mean that's their authentic self, or even people trying to become something else? So I feel like, and that's where I feel like it has a little bit of a twist because when you start being, let's say the word authentic, or even growing, because truth is I'm not the same person I was years ago,
Oh yes.
and research says that in your lifetime you're going to be actually like at least 6 different people.
Yeah.
You can't be the same person. A lot of people try to be like, oh, let me just remain the same. No, you shouldn't actually remain the same. So now that's where the problem comes in because when people start to evolve or change or grow, they start to show new behaviors and traits, and then people start saying, "Oh, you're not being authentic." And I feel like that's where the confusion comes. But even you start to think, "Oh, am I not being authentic? Am I changing?" Or so how do we balance that? And with social pressure, Instagram, the life, you're like, oh, how do I balance this and show up as who I want to be, but still remain who I used to be so that the people I have are still there. I don't think I'm changing. So I feel like that's where all the
Unbalance comes from.
unbalance comes from, yes.
Yeah. So when it comes to social presence,
Mhm.
you need to always be in the present and you always need to be yourself.
Mhm.
If you're on the quiet side, be yourself. But like I said, always add value. If you're on the loud side, don't be extremely loud. Try and understand. Like, don't, what's the word? Like, don't be too loud in the way that you have no value. People just see you for being someone that's
It's just
yeah.
just the blabbermouth.
Oh,
Sorry,
yes.
sorry, excuse me.
Oh no, it's okay. I know because I will not be authentic. You have to be
Yeah.
authentic. So you need to find a way to balance it out. Like the example I would like to use is Bruce Wayne and Batman.
Mm.
When he's in his cave or in his house, he's Bruce Wayne. When he's out at night, he's Batman.
Yeah.
But the truth is, even when he's in social setting as
Mhm.
Bruce Wayne or Batman, trying to save Gotham City.
Yeah.
For me, I understand people say, "Oh, Bruce Wayne is the billionaire, Batman is the
The villain.
no,
Oh no, the vigilante. Yes, the vigilante.
Yeah,
Yes,
the
sorry.
vigilante that goes out
Yeah.
to save the city." But for me, he exudes both, the same energy in whatever form he finds himself.
Mhm.
He's after the same thing. His
Yeah.
course is the same.
Yeah.
His attitude is the same. His
Yeah.
mannerisms are the same.
Yeah.
So whenever you are in spaces where
Mhm.
you find yourself, social spaces, or in your private or your own personal environment, you
Mhm.
always have to be who you are. But it doesn't stop you from growing. It doesn't stop him from saying, "Oh, probably I did this thing wrong." Probably next time I should have done it this way. I should have listened to you. What is his butler's name again? Fred.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you need to always identify that. Oh, I'm not going to be perfect. I'm not always going to fit in into every circle I find myself.
But do you know there are some
have to be.
Yeah. Well, okay, now that's Batman. That's all like in the superhero world. But you know that in real life
no,
situations,
it's an example now.
yeah, yes. But you know that in real life situations, there's some situations where you can't be authentic. Do you know that? And I feel like common sense actually says you can't always be authentic. I'll give an example.
Okay.
Let's say in a workplace setting, for example, and then your boss says something, and honestly, you really are against it, and it's like in a boardroom meeting and everything. You can't show your authentic self there and say, "Oh, you want to speak up at that point."
Oh,
You cannot speak up later.
That's mannerism now.
Yeah, so
that's having a good manners in a public setting.
Yeah, so exactly. So the thing is, people don't like. The truth is, you can't. People don't like people that are too authentic all the time because it disrupts comfort zones. It disrupts
being
the
diplomatic
social.
is important.
Yeah, being diplomatic. So you also have to be authentic with common sense, basically.
Oh yeah, so it's like going for an interview and they say, what's that word? They say in interviews like, is it who are you or tell me three good traits about yourself, and then or they ask you a question. Oh, when you have a disagreement with your fellow colleague or your boss, how do you handle it? Yeah. The answer is always going to be, whenever I have an agreement with a fellow colleague, I'll take my colleague aside and have a one-on-one discussion. So basically, that's what you're saying. So it's about being diplomatic and understanding that.
Yeah.
So it doesn't.
So I'm not putting that out there. So because we don't have to tell people to go and be authentic at their own detriment. Be authentic with common sense.
Oh yes. Definitely you have to be authentic with common sense. But also you also need to have manners too when you are dealing with other people, because you don't want to come across as being rude. You always want to keep the energy in the room positive. Yeah. So even if something goes wrong, it's in your own personal strength and ability to understand that, you know what, I need to take in this negative emotion in now. And when the loudness of the room is gone, people are gone, and I have this person to myself, we can now have that conversation. Yeah. So okay. Yeah. Yeah. So that's why I feel
Okay, so now speaking of authenticity, what price do you think you've had to pay? Has it ever happened to you that you paid a price for being too authentic?
Oh yes.
Can you think of anyone right now?
Oh yeah, I can think of probably 10 right now.
Oh
yes.
Give us
yes, I can
one.
Think one. I can think of one right now. So the price of being authentic, first of all, it causes friction friction between yourself and other people, especially friends. Because when you're being yourself and you are evolving, as we like to say, it causes this discomfort amongst yourself and other people. Other people don't understand what's going on. That's why in the process of growth sometimes, I'm not saying you should explain yourself, but the people you love or the people you find yourself in contact with continuously have to understand that, I'm going through an evolving process now.
Yeah, not everybody's going to understand that though.
Oh yes, that's what I said.
That's what
yes, but you cannot stop your own growth because of another person. You always have to be authentic, because at the end of the day, your attitude speaks for yourself. The most important thing you have in this world is your name. Once your name is destroyed, you have to start from ground zero. Oh my god,
I literally cut relationship with a friend. I know I mentioned it on our friendship episode. If you've not seen that, you need to go and check that out. I literally cut relationship with a friend because that was going to happen and I wasn't going to have any.
Oh yes, so I mean, like I said, the boundaries have to come into play. You don't want people disrupting your flow or your process of evolving into the person you're trying to become. Sure. Because the truth is, like you said, you can't be authentic 24 hours a day. As humans, we're always going to fail, we're always going to fall short. But the most important thing is to identify, I made a mistake today. I can correct it tomorrow. I can become a better person tomorrow. If this same thing happens or something around this corner or around this way happens, I'm able to correct it and identify it immediately and make sure the same mistake doesn't happen again. So
I'm just noticing you have nice t-shirt on.
Are you scoping me?
I just noticed it.
Why are you looking at me? Why are you trying to make me feel
Are you
uncomfortable?
blushing?
I'm blushing. Well,
And I feel
thank
like
you for that. Oh,
well,
yes.
that's you being authentic.
Oh,
But
yes.
first of all, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
So yeah, that's quite interesting, and
And you look beautiful as well.
thank you.
Yeah, I told you before the episode started.
Yeah, you did. Thank you
Yes.
so much. Yeah, you did. And I think that's where you need to speaking of authenticity, or what was you speaking about,
Yeah.
that's where you need to get to the point of being comfortable being disliked. And I think that's what a lot of people struggle with. That kind of stops them from being their authentic self because you don't want to be disliked. You don't want to you don't want people to talk about you. Which now thinking about it doesn't make sense because whether you do anything or you don't do anything, people are talking about you.
Oh,
So
yeah.
why you try to even control that narrative?
Oh, yes.
So I feel like that's one of the strongest things that holds people back.
Yeah, being disliked is normal.
Mm-hmm.
Being disliked is also an approval for yourself and you need to tell yourself that.
I've never heard that one before.
Oh no, yeah,
Being
it's an
disliked. Approval for yourself.
Yeah,
How?
it's an approval for your own self to tell you that you are growing. Because there's no human in this world that has friends that doesn't have enemies, or people that don't feel comfortable with your takes or your attitude. And it's also, like I said, it's an approval. It's room for you to grow in your own strength, in your own self. Because the truth is, no one is going to believe in you. No one is going to believe in your dreams, except you prove to yourself and to the world entirely that this is who I am. I'm not going
to yourself.
fall.
That's the most important. What you
No,
prove to yourself,
not the world really, but
the world
yes.
will follow.
Yes, like I first said,
yourself, then
the world will follow. Will follow because, and even saying the world, not everyone is going to love
you. Everyone. You need the haters to grow though.
Oh yeah, you need them to grow. So that's why I said it's your own approval. Like you need to grow in your own strength and your own self, and you need to believe your own ability to add value or create value for others and not just yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how we become better people, really. Yeah, that's how you become better. That's how you fuel love, being yourself, creating for others. People look at you, they see your value. They want to get to know you, they get to know you, and then they start introducing you to other people, and that's how your network continuously improves. Yeah. So your value is the most important thing. Yeah.
And then because you mentioned, I think you mentioned growth and evolving and authenticity. So everything is all together. But how do we? So are you saying that as we grow and evolve, yes, we do become a version of ourselves, but how do you remain authentic throughout all those stages? Because it's easy to lose yourself, isn't it? So I think that's one of the things that a lot of people struggle with, and even me myself, that's one of the things that I struggle with. Like, how do I remain grounded even though I want to keep growing? And I think it all comes to being self-aware. You need to first be self-aware of who you are. Then by the time you now start creating boundaries and being able to say no when being able to say no and stop doing things because you want to please people and kind of like I said, oh my god, I love it, being good selfish. then that way you kind of remain authentic.
Oh yeah. I totally agree because the truth is, you just need to grow. You need to continuously be unfiltered. People need to see you need to be transparent. You need to put yourself out there to create value for not only yourself but for others. And the only way to do that is to build yourself up. Have a reputable name that when people talk about you anyway, they can say, oh, this guy or this lady or woman or girl, this is who she is. She might have done this and this, but yes, I can definitely tell you that this is a stand-up guy. This is a girl that or a woman that I can respect and have conversations with, or even businesses with. Again, so like I said, your name is the most important thing, and you don't want to spoil that because you are trying to be a people pleaser, trying to make people comfortable in rooms, and then when you leave those rooms, you feel like someone has put
you feel lost.
You feel lost. You feel like someone has poured dirt all over you and all that. So the energy you bring into
the
rooms,
energy,
it does matter. It's very important. For me, it's very important. You can't deny that. Yeah. So
I love this book. I feel like every time you read, because you don't let me see what you write, but you always have like, is it questions or notes or cues? I don't even know what I'll call them. All right, let's see.
oh,
What do you have here today?
so I think
Wait, let me write one question while you're
okay.
thinking. Mm-hmm.
No, I wrote something that I just wanted to bring it out there or ask. And I believe we've covered it, but I wanted to ask earlier, like, why is authenticity rare? Why? What makes it so rare to find someone who is truly authentic?
Mm-hmm. Um, I feel well. I can't really say to be honest. I feel it's in a way it's society as well. The way we've been brought up, you know, especially the environment in which you grew up. If you grew up in an environment that is always shushing you, and that's why for me it's important, really like raising the kids and let them have their say. I let them speak up, and I want to listen to them. So the way we've been brought up, or the society in which we grew, also affects how you turn out as an adult.
Okay.
So I feel like, and it's going to take a while for you to change what you've always known, really. So I think that's yeah, one of the biggest things that stop people from being authentic. So you've grown up in that environment, you've been taught that okay, just comply. There's no point, and you just yeah. So when you now eventually to grow and grow into your own and become, it's just normal that you have like never said that like, oh, should I do that? Can I do that? Is it allowed and all that? So yeah, for me that's it.
Yeah.
How about
That's a
you?
good one. For me, how do I break it down?
You asked the question. You didn't
Yeah.
think I was going to throw it back at you.
Why is authenticity rare? It's rare because, like I started with, in the world we find ourselves
Mhm.
today, people or most people are trying to please others into liking them, loving them for who they are,
For who they are not.
or who they are not. You get like who they are not, rather than building themselves up, and then people actually loving them like I said,
For who they
they
are.
are for who they are by providing value, having knowledge about
Mhm.
multiple things that have been discussed in different rooms.
Yeah.
So you need to always have value and understand that pleasing people is not going to get you through the door. You're not always going to be able to break boundaries
Mhm.
by being a people pleaser, most especially on social media. You're doing things just to make other people comfortable, to get likes and shares and all that. At the end of the day,
Likes
you
and
are
shares are
miserable.
so important now.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah,
And you're
please like and share.
oh yeah.
No, but
And you're
really,
being miserable in your real life. Like
yeah.
after you hit the record button and it stops, and you're like,
Mhm.
oh my goodness, I feel
Yeah.
miserable today.
So that's why, yeah, and
So
sorry, but let me just jump in here. That's why it's just beautiful if whatever you are doing is what is authentic and true to you.
yeah,
No matter how many likes and shares you get, you feel true to yourself.
yeah,
Yes, eventually you want the highest amount of likes and shares, not just because you want it, but just so that you know that you are having an impact on people as well. Whatever you are doing and saying is actually adding value to people's lives. That's
yeah,
what makes you feel better as a human. And I
yeah,
think as humans, that's something we should always strive for.
yeah.
How can we add value to the world? Not just because we want to have likes and shares. Like, yes, I would love to have likes and shares based off the quality or value the videos we're putting out, what we're saying, because it's adding value to people.
Yeah, it
Not,
does add the
yeah,
value.
I
And not
think,
just
yeah,
people, and also to ourselves too.
also to ourselves,
Ourselves too.
yes. We
Yeah,
learn that, we learn every, yeah.
yeah, we learn every day, and we only don't have this show. We also listen to other podcasts as well
True.
to learn.
Mm-hmm.
We also read books, even the things we watch too as well. We're always picking up from it and
Mm-hmm.
learning and saying, "Oh, I remember when this thing happened to me." Or, "Oh, what about you? What if certain thing happened to you? How will you react? Or how will you
Yeah.
behave too?" So it's always identifying your shortcomings and understanding that you have to always be yourself. That's the
Mhm.
truth. You always have to be yourself.
Yeah.
You always have to evolve. You always have to grow and stuff like that. And that brings you to being freedom. So being free,
Okay.
having that freedom to be yourself, to say, you know what, I'm not going to cross boundaries by breaking who I am, by I happen to fall short sometimes. It's normal. I'm only human. I'll get better as I continuously grow and grow on my journey to become a better person. So just being who you are, really, and having that freedom to stand 10 toes deep, saying, really standing 10 toes deep, and people understand, oh, this is really cool. This person is,
and just to contrast your point, like, a lot of people, especially on the growth journey, believe that or mix it up with, oh, this means I shouldn't change from who I am. No, it's not you not changing from who you are. It's you growing exactly how you should be. I don't know how that makes sense. It's
how you sit on your vision board.
Exactly how you vision yourself, how you see yourself becoming, evolving truthfully. How you dreamt of this is me, this is how I am, this is how I perceive myself. That is authenticity. It doesn't mean you have to remain the same way you've been since you were like 5 years old, 10 or 20 or however old you are. But it's like growing in the true version of
yourself. Yeah, I mean, I do agree.
Yeah. Yay! Okay, so that was an interesting one. And the truth about authenticity is you're always going to, and even evolving or anything we're talking about really, you're always going to meet like a roadblock. There's going to be like challenges. Probably lose friends. You probably think you're crazy at some point.
You will lose friends.
Yeah,
people will think you're crazy.
Even you will think you're crazy, but your idea is if you can remain true, and I think that's the secret word there. If you can remain true to yourself, you be authentic, and eventually, finally, when you get to that point where you want to be, you arrive there and not feeling like
there's something left out.
Exactly. You arrive there as your true self.
Yes, I do agree with that.
Hey, okay.
I actually don't think I can top that.
Yes. Okay. So thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and yes, let's know what's the word? What struggles have you faced on your journey to being an authentic self? And put something in the comments and let's keep this conversation going.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
Okay, then. I'll see you in the next episode.
Bye.
Yes, bye.
Bye.